Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Okay, and welcome. We are... I just streamed for like 10-15 minutes with the wrong stream key. So it went into YouTube and promptly didn't go anywhere, I think, at that point. So welcome to the Vintage Story streaming session. I'm just going to do a quick streaming session, nothing too fancy today. And basically what we're going to be doing is a quick kind of survey and looking around of my base. The reason that we're doing this is because, you know, Vintage Story is on the precipice of releasing a major new update. Once that happens, I fear that the powers that be may try to upgrade the server, which may cause the server to lose, you know, things that I've made. So, here we are. I will explain things as I go, but this is obviously my forge, and I'm just going to make this into an ingot before I lose the time to do that real quick. The last time I streamed, my castle was quite a bit further behind than it is now, so I really am excited to show you that update. But we do have a temporal storm coming, and so we have to be a little bit thoughtful on our time management today. Okay. So we've got quite a bit of iron, 59 iron, stack and 15 of steel, 2.5 stacks of meteoric, all sorts of other ingots laying around. This is our forge. We have a coke furnace, three set coke furnace here that our forge is literally on top. Now let me show you, I already did this on my other attempt at a stream, but let me show you this again. This is my double windmill. It's in this tower. Still working on some stuff up here, obviously, but this is my mill tower on my castle. I may tweak this yet, but I love this top area. First of all, I love the shingles, but secondly, I've got a brass block here. I could make that a gold block, I guess, at some point, but that's expensive. And I've got these little oil lamps to make it light up at night, but just a basic double windmill. Let me just show you around the island real quick. Here's my farm down here. I just planted for the spring. It's March 27th. Here's my dock. Very rudimentary at this point. I might extend that out. But I do have a ship in port that I'm building right there. Got this roof. I like this roof a lot. I've got a flag pole here, but I don't have the ability to make a flag without chiseling it. I might start exploring that. But that's basically the mill tower. Now if you go into the tower, get rid of this snow, I don't want it. Mill tower is just a basic double input mill system with 2 axles coming into a main large wheel that comes down here. And then at the first level up in the tower here is my pounder room. This is the crushing apparatus. Turn it on with that little clutch. You would put an item in here. Let's say, what's something I can crush? Charcoal? Probably. Okay, I'm not sure why that's not sucking this charcoal down. Maybe I have to grind the charcoal before it crushes it. Let's see if this works though. Put it directly into the hopper. Maybe it doesn't like this setup. Maybe I need a chute instead of a hopper or something. I'm not really sure why that didn't work. But theoretically that crushed and went down here. Okay, that will turn into powdered coal at some point if I wanted to. So I basically just put these in here. And it's kind of fun. Now, I do like this setup a lot. Hold on. Just tweaking my headphone a little bit there. I like this setup a lot, and you know, I've got it going right down into my forge here, which can be useful. But we usually leave it off to kind of maintain system power a little bit. I need to finish making this tower. I'll probably get rid of most of these windows and maybe just have like 2 or 3. I'm working on the Great Hall with the throne room down there and some armor sets. Need to make more blue glass to get some of my fancy windows in place, and I need to continue to extend this out. I've obviously designed this to not interfere with the wind blade there, but in order for it to feel like a Great Hall, I think it needs to be extended out, and maybe even modify some of these bricks and get rid of them and continue going with the shingles. I'm not sure. I'm still kind of prototyping that a bit, to be honest. Here's the tower that I've been working on. This is going to be like the equivalent of the Tower of the Hand from Game of Thrones, except for I don't have a hand of the king in my kingdom necessarily. We'll see. Probably just call him the Chancellor. Call it the Chancellor's Tower, why not? Here's a marble statue I've been working on chiseling. Needs a lot of work, honestly. Not very far along on that. I have a secondary staircase here. I need to chisel it to be more refined. That comes up from my cementation furnace with a very fancy vent system here. And that actually comes out on top of my forge in the other direction, which has a little maintenance shaft down here we can go to fix damaged blocks. And then right about here I've just seamlessly connected. It's actually very nice. The refractory bricks blend in pretty well with these claystone bricks, so that's nice. I've got a shelf there as well for some reason. That batch is almost done, by the way. But you can see we've got chests for all of our ores. We have so much ore. I need to like be smelting more of this constantly. In fact, I don't suppose I have. I wouldn't be surprised if I left some. Is there anything in here? No. So this is just sitting here ready to go, so I can smelt something at some point. But here's my smelting area. I've put these things around just because I didn't know what else to do with them. I'll move them at some point. I also need to make a better ingot display area because I've got all these fun ingots sitting around, including like gold and shit. And by the way, if I were to change out my brass block to a gold block, these gold plates, you need 6 of them. And they are made from gold ingots, which 2 of which are required for a plate. So you need 12 gold ingots to make a block, and I could do that, but that's a lot of gold. And gold is extremely rare, expensive. Here's my silver. Some fun bismuth bronze, black bronze. These are rare too, kind of. I've been experimenting with these paper lanterns. It's a good recipe. I guess you craft it to turn it on and off. That's fun. I didn't know you could do that. Huh, fun. Anyway, I am hungry, and I've got pickled onions, so why not? So anyway, here is the throne room I mentioned there. These are 2 full sets of silver armor. I will probably at some point consider making gold full plate. The silver was hard enough, but the gold plate would go into this, for example. It looks kind of cool, but I honestly can't see. I actually almost like the chain a little bit better. But I kind of want to make a barracks with a bunch of different armor in it at some point. I've been working on chiseling a stained glass window here. I may supplement that up above with additional windows up there, maybe. I'm not sure. But this does face due west. So on the equinox, which was a couple days ago in game, the sun will set exactly on this line right there. Pretty cool. Alright. I'm still working very much on this space though, and obviously there's going to be a great hall, and then I might put a room here of some sort. I'm not sure. I do have it kind of built in to kind of diagonally curve this way. I think I may have had some of this on my last stream, but probably not too much. To access the tower of the Chancellor's Tower, you simply come through this door. Right now, I do have a small bedroom here. I have a little barrack here. And then you can go up here and access this level of the tower, which gets you above the barracks that I showed a second ago. I'm not sure what I'm going to put there. And then You can even go all the way up to this level, which is not yet built. And we'll see what we're going to do up here. I'm not sure yet. So that takes care of that story. Massive staircase here. I've been displaying all of my crystal chunks here. That's fun, right? And yeah, we're still obviously waiting to implement more of these shingles, and probably stick to the blue. Might do a little purple here and there, I'm not sure yet. But I also have this staircase from the second story over to the outside. Now this is one of my favorite places in the castle so far. I'm still working on it too, of course, but this is my marble column archway area, and I really do like this. I love these column designs, and I like that it's 45-degree angle for the most part, and then it gets more, vertical. Sorry to yawn. But anyway, that staircase goes inside up to the second floor. And then there's this one that kind of stays outside and stays kind of down on the ground floor. Now I'm really enjoying this area too. This is going to be, well, depending on whether or not I block anything here. I probably don't want to block any more than I've already done here, but this is a nice little sunny courtyard kind of place. This pink apple tree is going to come along nicely. I should probably... Let's go ahead and see if I can get some clippings from the ebony. I've got 2 hours and 45 before that heavy temporal. So I'll have to think about how I want to deal with that. My typical approach to temporal storms these days is just go to my temporal storm shelter, but in winter it was kind of nice because you could just kind of do it on the ice a little bit too. See if we get any ebony seeds. Ebony saplings are rare, or seeds and saplings are rare. They're hard to get. Alright, so that is all for that tree. And we are getting some lurker noises. Let me just go back over here. And I do have this little walkway that I've built that kind of resembles a monk cloister or something. I'm not really sure, around this courtyard. It's a very small version, if so, but you can see it from the map here next to the tower, the Chancellor's Tower. And I'll continue making this wall out here for sure. I'm not sure if I'm going to cut it here for the castle or what. I've started expanding the castle out here a little bit, so we'll see what I do with the castle, but there's a lot of work to be done, and it's hard to know what exactly to do. I just kind of play it by ear, though. I like building organically. Now, what was I going to do? Oh yeah, no ebony seeds today. That's dreadful. Well, I don't like that. That is not good that we did not get any ebony seeds. So I tell you what, let me go over here. Like, this is almost an emergency at this point, because I don't think I have any extras. Seeds, that is, for ebony, but I do have another... Those are purple heart, okay. Surely I have another ebony tree up somewhere. I guess I do have a peach tree down there, that's weird. Ebony is probably my rarest wood, but it's also the planks that I like the best. And so I do try to keep... This is large, or walnut, okay. This is larch. Purple heart. I also have, obviously, kapok and acacia. The standard temperate trees, etc. Well, I'm not seeing any ebony right off the top of my head. And I really don't want to have to go all the way down to the deep south to find more. And yet I may have to. Maybe I shouldn't use the trimmers on the ebony. Let me just... I don't see any more ebony trees around. Let me go downstairs and see if there's any more seeds. If not, then that's going to be on my imminent to-do list. Okay, purple heart. Redwood. Great. Not a single ebony seed. Oh, sorry. Three ebony seeds. False alarm. I mean, not really. It's still very rare. I still need to, like, cultivate these seeds delicately. So tell you what, let's go. I've also been losing cats. I'm down to 3. I've got them all set to stay inside right now. But let's just throw an ebony tree up right here. Chickens are doing well. Pigs are doing well. I've got too many. I probably need to cull them again. And goats are doing fine. Here's my Cascade Waterfall Farm, which I love. It's very fun. Of course, we've got the temporal rift there. And then my barn for my animals. I think killing raccoons increases your animal husbandry. I've got my dogs down here too. Let me just real quick while I'm over here show you the dock. The dock is very simple. You just have some foundational supports that go down and have brick on top. Here's the ship so far. Let me see about extending. See if it's gonna be like that. Alright. I just had some oak logs on me, or planks, so I just decided to use them up there. Now, the way that I mentioned I was expanding my castle, I mean this, first of all, I'm going to finish this little dock area at some point, but I'm going to make this look prettier at some point as well. This is the stained glass window I was talking about. I'll see what I end up doing with that. Farm, we already talked about. Okay, 123 until the temporal storm. So I've been experimenting with like an archway through here. Maybe put another, I don't know what I'll do there, but basically the idea is if I want to extend my castle out this way, I have to have like a way that you can walk through here, and yet I'm concerned that this is going to block out the sun for some of these bushes. Not really sure what the mechanic is on that, but I'll keep my eye on that. Okay. Bamboo. I mean, I've just got all my normal stuff. Here is my teleporter basin. So whenever I teleport back to here, it comes back to here. Let me go watch the sunset to prove to you that the equinox is roughly where my throne room stained glass window is. I mean, it should be fairly obvious from, you know, just logic, but I'll just show you anyway. It's 5 o'clock. I think probably looking at a 6 o'clock sunset. So if I align this line up directly, should set right where my cursor is. And as we're getting into summer, it'll be a little bit to the right of my cursor, meaning it'll be a little bit longer of a day. But we do love a good equinox temple, right? Okay, we have 1 hour until this storm. Let's go prepare for that. So typically what I do when I prepare for the temporal storm, honestly, it's not that much. I will take some bandages and sometimes the occasional extra spear, but pretty much, and sometimes armor. Although I gotta tell you that this armor is pretty good. It is surprisingly protective according to the description. But if I wanted to really deck out in armor, I'd take the steel armor. Right, so the steel armor, the The sort of shortcut to see how good armor is look at the durability. This durability is 900, 900, and 900. This is 6100, so quite a bit better. But it does make me quite a bit slower. On the other hand, I look badass. Quite a bit slower, like 40 to 50% slower, I'd say. I will explain this from here. If I were to compare that to Meteoric Iron, though, not bad. Half the protection, probably half the speed penalty. Okay, and then I often take a bandage. Now, you could do this by digging a little 2x2 hole somewhere, but I'm gonna go and use my traditional shelter that I typically use for this. It looks like the storm is gonna start just right before sunset here. That path helps a lot. Here's my shelter. I've got maple sap in there. I don't think, does that spoil, I wonder? It must. Although it doesn't have a spoilage rate. Maybe that's one food that doesn't spoil. That'd be nice. Kind of like animal fat. Okay, so what I typically do then at this point is I grab these spears and get them ready to be used. I have one steel spear and like 5, 6, 7 copper spears. Okay, so I think we've got our full lineup of spears there. And then the last thing I'm going to do is just eat a little bit of this onion. This area is decently well lit by me, and it's very hard for enemies to get in, but not impossible. There is one access point, but I don't think enemies hardly ever get up there. And so what we usually do is I usually start the temporal storm, not sleeping, taking shelter in my bed, or in my room. And then once things get a little more opportunistic, I venture out and start taking out the higher end drifters. We really want temporal gears or rusty gears. Not to mention, what else can they drop? I mean, nuggets sometimes, I think. Crystals. I don't remember what all they drop, honestly. But the main ones are the gears. The temporal gears especially. The rusty gears as well. Here we go. And this is a heavy, so we should expect it to get a little bit crazy. They also don't spawn within a certain number of blocks of you. I think it might be 3. So this shelter is actually like the perfect little size. Unless you like walk over to the edge like that, and then you could, it's conceivable they'd spawn in here on the roof, which is not what you want. Oh man, oh shit. Okay. Well, good thing we had the armor. Okay, so he got in somehow. I think he went to the roof. I really should address this. Okay. So I'm gonna plug this up. I didn't realize they could get in up there, I think, is what happened, but I could be wrong. I'm also the only player on the server right now, which disturbs me because I think that means I get all the spawns. Not exactly sure. Okay, and they can get in the way I kind of snuck in earlier, but it is a bit of a process. Okay. And I can get hit with these rocks all the time, all day long. But the thought behind the shelter was, hey, let's make something where we can hit out, but they can't really hit in very easily. So I'm just trying to kill as many. Oh, there we go. I wonder if they glitch in somehow. Fortunately, these are all tainteds and not double-headeds. Yeah, it is really hard with being the only player on the server here. I'm getting like literally all the spawns. And you really don't want to die because it resets your skill point experience a little bit on the mod that deals with that. Man, I get real hungry in this armor too, I guess. And we haven't used our spear once. Okay. Some more tainted drifters. Okay, I'm getting a little bit of cloth so far, but not any gears. Probably should delete that cypress tree. Beautiful though they are, it does interfere with the drifter fighting process. Alright. So at some point in the fight, I like to try coming outside a bit. When some of them have been cleared out, you know? Problem is I don't want to get, like, surrounded by really tough drifters. Oh boy. Okay, so we're just gonna go running into the lake. And this is somewhat safer real quick. Let me keep my health up a little bit. Yeah, there they are. Well, you do not heal at all with these bandages when you have armor on, I think. Is that the problem, is the armor? I think that might be the problem. Okay, let's get back inside. Okay, never mind. Oh god. Oh god. I am so not used to the armor, actually. Okay, so I think we can get away with a little something here. Maybe if I step on this melting ice, they will have trouble getting over here. Hopefully the storm doesn't go too much longer. I'm out of food. But I can always switch to spear if it gets terrible. And it is getting a little bit hairy, I will say. And of course it doesn't help that there's trees all around and that everybody's throwing stones at me. Okay, he's gone. Okay. I don't know why they're all tainted, apparently. I mean, it's fine. Maybe I should have fought on the bridge. I've fought on the bridge before. It's kind of nice because it reduces the avenues of attack. Although say that and I get hit from behind, but yeah, this heavy storm is no bueno. What if I take this off real quick? Can I heal up now? A little bit, yeah. Alright, let's continue. I'm slightly concerned about my food. Slightly is not the right word. Extremely panicked about my food. I don't really have the ability to easily access my food stores. I guess I could do this. And see if he's got... yeah, these things. Well, coming up to bridge might have been the right thing to do. I just need to pass a little bit of time, get this under control. And I'm trying to think what would be an easy food source for me to grab quickly. You'd think a stack of pickled onions would be enough, but... I hate this mod. Fuck. Oh god. Okay. There's one right in the cypress tree. In vanilla, I would have thrown like 4 spears in the time it takes me to throw one with this mod. Well, at least we're getting some good combat experience, presumably. Of course, it'll all be for naught if I die, so... Yeah, we're still pretty much surrounded, but at least we've got a strategic zone where I can kind of control the battle a little bit. Oh, missed that one. There we go. Come on, game. Okay, well, we're getting a lot of good kills. Damn near starved. I think it actually affects obviously your combat and maybe your temporal adaptation. I'm getting up there. 508, let me just see about that. 26. Yeah, a little bit, yep. And 284 in combat. Alright. I'm down to my last spear, I think. Okay, and we're still very, very, very hungry. Yeah, I think it's just from wearing the armor, and again, I'm not used to the armor, so... Very much a novel experience for me, but... I guess the one piece of good news is... This storm feels like it's gotta be almost over, right? Maybe if I just stand here and not preserve food energy for a second, it would be a good idea. I mean, the storm's been going since about 7, and it's now 8:30. Maybe it'll go another 28 minutes. I don't know how long temporal storms are supposed to be, but... Get those spears back. Took a bit of a risk by going down there, but I needed the spears, I felt. I actually need the food more than I need the spears. As long as I don't, like, start losing massive amounts of health because of it. There it goes, waning. That is the sign you like to hear. Crap. Well, that was... and still is a challenging temporal storm, I must say. The heavies are always a bit of a challenge. But, it looks like I did get at least one gear. And we're still fighting, we're still getting that combat experience. We're now officially out of food, though. We will start taking damage any minute now on that. Especially if I keep moving around. Okay, we do love that rusty metal too. It grinds into a very useful precursor for certain glass and clay advanced features. Oh god. I'm not sure what happened there. We got dinged by this guy at the last minute. That's what happened. Okay. We're still getting dinged by him. Okay. Come on, dude. Okay, I've exacted my vengeance on him. Alright. Well, I do have a little bit of food energy left. I got that temporal gear. That's good. Didn't it used to be that you could actually bypass the temporal storm by cutting your hand with the temporal gear in your offhand? I don't recall. Anyway, priority number 1 is getting out of this armor. I actually don't necessarily think I was best off or best served by wearing the armor for this storm. But I did survive, so I guess I can't complain. It just so dramatically slows you down. Okay, so like I said, step 1, get a little bit of food from these corpses. Step 2 is loot, loot, loot. Kill the stragglers. Oh, it's a nightmare. Come on, be confused about the ice. Yes. Oh, okay. So much for that. He's got quite the arm on him. So we didn't really see too many of these guys during the storm, because I'm guessing he was elsewhere. Okay, I did kill him. And we definitely want to skin him. See if we get any nightmare skin. That's me taking damage from food, not from drifters. I called them lurkers earlier, didn't I? Oh, I got a nightmare skin. That's nice. I want to make a nightmare drifter skin armor from the mod that adds drifter skin to the game. Okay, so we'll continue skinning these guys, getting a little bit of food, but boy, the food that you get from those is just barely enough to, you know, get by with this armor. It is so heavy. And it certainly doesn't like me walking across this lake in it. Okay. So I'm going to put most of my spears away too. I think there's one more spear that I had that I threw over here somewhere that I didn't collect. Maybe I'll eat that bucket of maple syrup. There's the steel spear. Nope, that's all the spears. Of course, we're still under attack. Fortunately, we can cheese this one. That's nice. Something that this shelter was kind of designed to do, and it hardly ever works that way. Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, armor. So let me just switch over, come on, there we go, to my Gambison. This will help with the hunger issues a lot. Okay. Let's just drink this real quick. Okay, can't drink it. Sounds good. Okay, nothing on that one. I don't think I saw a single double-headed during the entire time, and I only got just the one temporal gear, which is crazy. Usually you get more than that, especially on a heavy storm. And granted, I kind of took a bit of a back seat on the first half of the storm there, but nonetheless, I mean, you'd think you'd get some. Okay, I think that's it. I did recover all my spears. I've killed all, or, you know, skinned all the bodies I can find. So since I'm the only player on the server, I might as well sleep. I'm gonna just do one quick check over here to see if there's any straggler drifters that survived. Doesn't look like it. Okay. Well, not too bad. Oh, is this done? I was making some amaranth whiskey And in order to do that, game, come on, where'd you put the torch? Oh, little lag there. You just put this in the boiler, and yeah, 1.5 liters there, pretty good. Yeah, not really a lot of stuff that we got from that. Well, you know, I'm just going to finish up the stream real quick by finishing explaining what's going on with my castle. Here's my storage room down below. It's been this way for a while, but it keeps expanding. And it's very disorganized. Fortunately, I have a system. I know where everything is off the top of my head. And I'm not sure what that sound is in the background. It seems like maybe something is bugged. I'm not sure, though. Okay, well that's it for the temporal storm. Incidentally, this is my new charcoal pit. Well, it sounds like running water is what it sounds like. Let me just grab some food real quick. Grab some cheese. Some queso. Okay. And that should be good for our health. Now we do need to make more bandages at some point. Just as a reminder. But yeah, so anyway, I had finished explaining this story, pretty much. So this story is my main level. I've got my bedroom here, which we'll use to get to the morning. And then we've got the kitchen area basically down here. And so that's what this is over here. And, or, well, give me a second.
Cases go to these.
Like if they got too close to it, it was a sharply dividing issue.
Okay, sorry about that. There we go. Okay. So the kitchen consists of several primary areas. Here's the preparatory tables. Hi, kitty. Here is the clay ovens. Here's the fire pits. Infinite water source. I need to continue adding my shelving and things. Here's the auto mixer bowl, or powered mixing bowl from the expanded foods mod. Here's my grinder that has a setup for hoppers. So pretty nice, pretty functional. You can turn this off with the clutch. This one always on. Okay, so that's my main story. I do have this pigs, goats, my chicken coop, chickens. Here's my bee area. I need to expand this out for the summer now that it's warm again. Here's my orchard grove. Here's my cypress grove. Still working on this. This is going to be something more fancy than what it is currently, but it's just my teleporter station now. Probably make some sort of tower here. Okay. Oh, that's gonna hurt. I need to be careful with that now that I'm not fully healed. Anyway, just a few last little things. Here's my redwood forest kind of area. And here's my survival shelter in the day, so lovely. And then here's my bridge to Elastria, I think I call myself. Okay, here we go. And this is the entrance to my land. But I do have a termite's nest here just to be exotic. And as I've mentioned in previous streams, I've been working on some lore projects. So I'll just show you a couple. I'm not sure if I've shown these before, but they're right next to my base, so why not? Up here, we've got this lore area. Lore location, find these sites. The RP Highway, Reese Phoenix Highway, was created on the remnants of Dastron roads. By Alastria 23 years after Doom. Okay, so when I say Alastria, I mean my kingdom, but Dastrons were the predecessors to my kingdom. So that's just a little bit of lore building that I've put into this world. There's another lore location up here. Let's go check it out. Oh, I thought that was a bear for a second. Okay, here's another lore location. Let's check this one out. This one says Fort Exchalinor, a Zuplii fortress, which predates King Istis's consolidation of Zuplei power in the region after Istis I. The fort saw continued use until 96 years before the Doom, the year it was destroyed in the Dastron conquest. Cool. So this is an old fort that even predates the Dastrons, and I don't know why I put like farming equipment in it, but it's kind of cool. And you know, this one we've looked at before. It's the bay where the Dastron expeditionary team landed. I've got these roads that go over to this trader, up to this, around like this, and it's going to connect up here. This road so far goes into this shale desert, and I want it to continue to connect all the way at least over to here or whatever. But yeah, pretty cool. Other lore locations. This is like a portage that I'm working on. Here's a gold mine, but I think yeah, here's one. This was a lore location. Here's my neighbors. Lore location. A shipwreck happened here. What else do we have? I need to start labeling what these things are, because when I do, it's much more helpful. Anyway, I'm continuing to work on the lore of the game, but I do like to just check in with a YouTube video here and there, just so I can remember everything that I've done in here. The main thing, my favorite thing that I've done, I mean, my farm is right up there, I'll be honest. I love my farm. And I'm definitely going to use that, like, all the time going forward, is the cascading waterfall farm. But I think my castle itself is the best thing. Oh, I should put a thing that says to Alastria. Theoretically, this road sign that I am just looking at here says go this way to get to what I call Gaia's Navel, which is this, or Gaia's Amphitheater. I'm borrowing from a video game called Secret of Mana, but no, here's the Navel, and here's the Amphitheater. Okay, these are just two massive land formations that occurred in this region up here, which I don't consider myself to be the owner. Like, if I own land, it's this little island, this island, and like this peninsula, maybe up to and including this little isthmus, and over here, and this chunk of land here, and maybe this bay, I'm not sure. But if somebody were to claim land here and dominate this little chunk of land, that would make sense. I do have a neighbor somewhere over here, can't quite remember. Here. Gasman. Nice name. Anyway, I think that's, well, let me get back to my castle and just, we'll take one last look at that before we check out. Okay. Got some animals out there. I have to say though, I think my castle could be more impressive from a long ways away. Like right here, you can't even see it. It might be a low distance. No, but there's the tower, so I guess what I'm saying is I need to really make sure that tower gets quite high. And I might consider making my windmill tower taller as well, just to be more fantastical and visible from a long ways away. Maybe even serve as a lighthouse. But I don't want to get like overly ambitious, because I do want to get this done at some point. But I absolutely love a lot of what I've done in the castle so far. Alright, well thank you so much for tuning in, and we will do this again sometime soon. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you then.